Oh, what a good morning. I am awake mostly. That cover is gorgeous. Thank you, Soul Rebel, for providing that. The colors that he captured, which was by luck, right? Didn't even notice him when he caught it, but there's just a rainbow of awesomeness in that. Soul, you should post that somewhere where everybody can take a look at it and put a link, because that's just beautiful. That's L.A., West L.A. train station, one of the train terminals. I used to take the train all the way from Rialto to... You had to take the train and then the subway and a bus to get to where I worked. It was... took a long time. But that's a gorgeous, gorgeous photo. And beautiful morning, all sorts of stuff going on in there. And it is a beautiful day for a revolution, Invictus. Absolutely. This is beautiful here. I don't know what is going on for you guys. I think Marcus said it was cloudy. Is that what it is there, Marcus? Cloudy?
It is cloudy and but sunny, and it is still too warm in Germany.
It's still too warm in Germany. That has not changed. Wow. All right, well, good. Let's just say good morning to you. Good morning, Marcus. How you doing? Say good morning, America.
Good morning, John. I'm fine, and I see you're doing fine too. And I hope you guys are doing fine as well. Good morning, America.
There you go. Yeah, hey, everybody. Got James Hancock and Juliet, Melissa and Paula and Katie. How you doing? And Marcus, of course, and Eco Sutra, Metalhead, Stock Post. I still can't scroll back up in here, huh? They just really messed with us there on that. Who else is in here? Snork, Y2K, how you doing? Brahm, Froze, Density, Joanne. Froze, you weren't posting as much this morning. Were you a little tired from being out with the boys at the bar? I saw that you were, that looked like a cool place from what you were describing, even though it's like the only place to play. But your kids work there, one of your kids works there, and you're watching a metal band, or it looked like some kind of rock band. I miss being able to do those things. That's fun. That's fun. I'm glad you had a good time. We all need to go have good times, even in bad times. You know, it's part of making life worth it. Hey, Nine Tails Cosmic Fox, you've been posting a lot in comments. Nice to have you here in the chat for the show. Yeah, don't know when you found us. I notice a lot of new people. I say a lot, a couple, a few, whatever. It's just nice to have you all involved in the conversation. Thank you for being here. And yeah, good morning, Michael Stapleton. Katie, and if I missed your name, I'll catch you later. Mike, there's so much going on. Chad Talks With last night. Just want to start right there. And it was a great show. Chad did a wonderful job. I even thought his little on-the-fly intro where he used a piece of the Firefly theme song. That's, if you know the song, it's very cool. You know, I just want to say that's going to be a marker. You know, things are on the way to the mend when we see a Firefly reboot. I hope that happens when we can get Nathan Fillion. Nathan Fillion said he would do the show. He tried to buy the rights. So, I mean, let's help him out. We can crowdfund everything else. Anyway, total sidetrack. Just wanted to go there. Really big fan of the show. You know who else was a fan of Serenity and Firefly? Was Tina. We asked her that before. Chad in the green room. Chad was explaining to Tina what the intro was. She goes, "Oh, cool!" And he goes, "Are you a fan of Serenity?" She goes, "Yes." So I thought that was pretty badass. We have a Washington State Democratic Party chair who is familiar with and a fan of Serenity. That speaks a lot to the progressiveness of the party, and I like that. It was a really good interview. She had a lot to say. If you guys did watch it, I want to know if there's time markers you guys drop me about where there's a good question answer spot. Let me know, and I'll cut out that segment. I haven't had time to go through it. And next week, I know Chad's got somebody else. I have no idea who. I need to make a card for that, but hopefully we'll get that up in the next couple days. You guys can see that. Yeah, it was fantastic. And thank you all who managed to show up and be a part of the conversation. I really appreciate that, because I know it was at a different time and different stuff, and the German was sleeping. He was, but he does. I don't know, 5 days a week plus commenting on the weekends and all that isn't enough from Marcus. I mean, God, guys, I really thank you for all you do, Marcus. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Absolutely. What are we talking about here? Check out my family's documentary about my father trailer. Really? Cool. Nice. It was a great show. Thank you, Paula. Wunderschönen. Guten Tag. I see. I'm practicing my German because I got to end up in Germany at some point. I have this feeling. It's going to be. All right. So moving on. I'm just getting chatty here. Feed your soul. It's the next thing we're going to talk about. What do I mean? Well, I got a friend, and if you're in Portland, anywhere near Portland, Oregon, this is my friend Galen and his friend Sarah Adams, and Galen is an amazing young man. He's the son of Linda Hefferman. Linda is one of my dearest friends, and our children grew up together in the School of Rock, among other things. And I promised Galen that I would just mention this on the show. So I just want to, if you guys can help me and share that out and let everybody know that they're in Portland on April 2nd. I think this is in northwest or northeast Portland. It's at the Sungate Center, which is a very typical Portland Rainbow Land place, and you guys know it. You know what it is. It's just a great yoga place. Obviously, I don't go there because I live down here. But anyway, Sarah Adams is an accomplished musician, cellist. Galen, an amazing musician, really, and just incredible. So that's going to be a great experience. Go there if you want. It's sliding scale admission, and all the funds go to help. I believe the environment is what they're doing that for. So, hey, just wanted to share that off. And there we go. Serenity Now. George Costanza. What? Oh, yeah. Thank you, Froze. George, I forgot about that. Very nice. Very nice. You watched, Melissa H., you watched Amy Schumer's Full Frontal. I tried to watch her show. I'll be honest. I think Amy Schumer is funny. I don't like her show. I just found it, maybe I'm getting too old. I don't know. But I think she's funny. I do. Moving on. Boom. This is happening tomorrow. Who's going to be around for this? It's going to be exciting. This is Bernie and Liz on tour, a national live stream event. I let them know we were going to watch this. So they're going to give me a link. We're all going to get a link. You share the link. But Our Revolution is cool. We're going to restream their stuff. Come watch it with us, watch it with them, whatever. Usually push it up on Facebook. It'll be fun. Hey, Brad. How you doing? Joanne? Jupiter Judy? Good morning, good morning. 9 Sorry for the long-winded comment on this. No, it was great. It was wonderful. It's fine. I love comments are good. So, anyway, guys going to go to this? I'm going to watch this with us tomorrow. Come join us. 7 p.m. Eastern, which means it's 4 p.m. our time. Marcus, I know. It's another one of those late things.
Not my time.
Nope.
Not really.
Not happening for Marcus. If you're in Germany or over there in Europe, catch it on the rerun.
Yeah.
When we have all the clips pulled out. Oh, you're right. You're right. My bad. I totally messed it up. I like Samantha Bee's Full Frontal. I'm getting that mixed up with Amy Schumer. You're absolutely right. I'm out of it today. I'm not doing. I haven't been sleeping good, and I am tired. I'll just admit that right now. And I got a lot of. We're down to the last harvest, the last plant. Finally, here, just weed knowledge right now. The reason they tell you not to plant numerous strains in one harvest is because many of them will take different amounts of time to actually come to full harvest, as well as grow to different heights. And if you don't have the room and the lighting to deal with that, then it's kind of problemsome. I did like 6 strains in one shot. Not the way to go, but, that's the way I like to grow. So I just wanted to say that. Totally separate. Is there mold on your weed? No, it's controlled. That's a very controlled environment in there. Got a dehydrator going. There's no mold. Why? How do we check for mold on weed? Usually by smell. But what you need is to make sure that your humidity in the room isn't above. I would make sure it never goes above 60%. You really want to keep the humidity in that room down around 40-50% in flower. 40 to 50% humidity is ideal. If you can get your humidity in the last couple weeks of not in flush, but prior to flush, the last couple weeks down to, and that flushes with hydro if you're using soil. Get the humidity down to be 20 and 30%, then you're rocking frosty hard rock buds. That's really, but then, I mean, that takes a lot of environmental controls. Really good dehydrator. I can't do that here. I would probably cost me a fortune to get the room down to 20, 30% humidity. But I can do 40, 50, you know. And yes, I'm on green energy from the utility company, at least. So I do spend a lot of energy to make buds. I'll acknowledge that right now. Anyway, sorry, we're not. Yes, stock posts. We're going to talk about that today. That's a great thing to talk about. Nine Tails, you guys are getting weed in 2018. I don't know how we moved right to weed. There you go. Corporation Killer Black like mold will appear as bright yellow. That's a great way to look for it. Man, if you got mold going though, it's too late. I mean, it has to be all preventative. Seriously, you got to just cut those things off and move on. But anyway, here, let's move on. We got the live stream tomorrow. It's gonna be fun. Oh, we don't want to hear Sean. Just want to look at this.
Oh.
You want to hear Sean? You don't want to hear Sean.
No, I was joking.
Oh,
I'm serious.
No, we're just moving on into other, like. I found this headline. The Hill has some interesting headlines. This has just blew my mind. Ryan breaks with Trump on healthcare. No Dems. They can't make up their, like. Didn't the GOP just say, well, if you've got better ideas, offer them up? And now Ryan's like, no, fuck you. I don't. And secondly, Paul, you're a public servant, dude. Your job is to work with the other public servants to come up with a plan. You don't get the right to say, we're not going to work with them. You don't have that privilege, Paul. Actually, you do. You have that privilege right now because we let our democracy turn into a fascist regime. Now we have to fix it. But soon you won't have that privilege. We're going to run somebody against your ass. We're going to repeal and replace your ass. But the fact that he can even has the audacity after 7 years of nothing but obstruction on a healthcare plan, they've got nothing to offer, and now they're not interested in working with the Dems on it. I think the more fun thing is that now we're getting serious splits between the GOP, the money-funded GOP, and Trump, who really wasn't part of that money-funded GOP. They're trying to bring him into that gravy train. He's like, I got my own gravy train. I'm working with Russia over here. I'm working with these guys over here. He's a businessman. He was, if you look at the triangle of the establishment, he's a point over here, and GOP's a point over here. They're not the same pieces of establishment. He's like, I don't need your money. I'm like, but money. He's like, well, fuck you. I got money. So it's very interesting to see what's happening there. And in the meantime, the people that voted for Trump under the GOP, expecting something good to happen because I don't know why, they're wondering whether either cares about them at all. I actually think at this point, Trump cares more about the people, not about the environment, but actually gives a shit more about the people he promised he was going to do something for, some of those fuckers in jeans out there in the wilderness, and the GOP cares less. I actually get that sense. Right? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But now we have the GOP and Trump both have isolated themselves from the voter base. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's an America united against.
You see?
Yeah. What's up, Marcus?
In my opinion, you can see the Republican Party to be split into three parts. You have got the conservative right wing, you have the moderate Republicans, and you have the Trumpists.
Yeah.
How we'll get this in one head.
Maybe. I just hope it. What I want is every single American who feels like they've just been screwed, come on over, because we're talking about the same issues here. Right? I mean, it's a beautiful thing. Ratings. Really, John? Trump doesn't give a crap for anyone but his kids and his wealthy buddies. I mean, Melissa, I'm not, he's a psychotic clown. I get it. I'm just saying, comparatively, He seems like, I mean, he's the one who suggested, why don't you work out? He really wanted an actual healthcare plan. I think he was actually saying, like, I'm going to come in and make a good deal. I'm going to make insurance. I mean, everybody's going to make money and nobody's going to pay a lot of money. He somehow in his head thinks that that's a possible equation. I'm not saying he's a good person. I'm not saying he's sane. I'm saying he's a total piece of shit. I'm just saying that compared to the GOP, compared to the Freedom Caucus, the Freedom Caucus just wants you to die. Trump just wants to make you a good deal. And Trump is incapable of making deals. Obviously, he's a terrible businessman. He's a much better celebrity, and this country was ripe to rise that celebrity up, right? The GOP is terrible at actually delivering for the people. And the people have actually started to figure that out. So I'm just saying, I love it. It's a beautiful situation. It's better than I could have ever expected. Eh, Marcus?
There was an interesting article today in the Zeit in Germany. It is not translated yet. As soon as it comes out, I will post it to Slack. And it says that it compares the situation with the Matrix, and they say what we are experiencing today is a kind of bug in the Matrix, and they are addressing they are describing Trump sitting at home in his place at his own computer and playing a kind of presidency SimCity. I think he really wants to do the best, but this is only. But his mind is too limited to get it worked out. What's needed for it, you know. And he regards all this stuff in the article as playing a game, a scenario of presidency.
I agree. When you can do what the man has done in business, and the business world works that way, and you think that the government is a business, and you can come in and just run it like a business, you know, and you learn, I think as much as I dislike the man, hate the man, I think he's getting quite an education on how corrupt the government actually is, you know, as one of the separate aspects of that triangle. He's always been doing business as a separate aspect of the triangle. Now he's within that other aspect. He's like, oh my God, this is, wow. You know, I'm not saying that he wants to, like you guys are saying, right? Like, I think, you've nailed it perfectly. I think he thought it was going to be a lot easier. He's a child brain, so he thought it was going to be easy. He thought he was going to, whether he wants to do good things for good people or not, I actually think he thought he could. And I think he's very frustrated with the fact that he hasn't. And he's very upset with the fact that the people are pissed off at him for it. Right? And so that just lends to the instability of the man. Right? But we see now, I think we really see who has control. Right? The president doesn't have control. He's doing a lot of destructive things that the GOP is allowing him to do. They don't give a shit. You know? You want to destroy the EPA? Great. It really wasn't on our agenda, but all right. You want to build a wall? Whatever the fuck. Build a wall, little child? That's fine. We've got things to do over here. Right? We've got serious people destruction to do over here. Serious totalitarianism stuff over here. And that's coming. They've been writing the laws. Mike Pence, all that shit about Mike Pence today, he's a scary fucker. He is a racist, misogynist, homophobe, evangelical Christian, calls his wife mother. He's a weird fuck. And they're excited about putting that guy in. I mean, they're excited about Pence in office. That's the frightening, you know. That's it. And don't stock post. Don't worry, Ivanka will start living in the White House. If what I just read is true, and I don't know that it is true, this is a rumor until I have verified it with other sources. I just saw something say that one of the reasons they don't move, and again, this is just something on social, I'm not saying this is fact, possibly that Barron Trump has autism, and that may be one of the reasons they don't move him into the White House. I could respect that. I'm just saying. We'll see. I don't know. All right.
But that rumor is not even new, in my opinion. It was spread months and weeks ago. Yeah.
Has that been
This is
proven
not.
bullshit? Has that been proven bullshit?
No. I don't know. And in my opinion, it doesn't really matter.
Well,
It
I
is
mean,
his
about
son.
Ivanka
He has nothing
Trump.
to do with the politics of his father.
I know. I'm talking about Ivanka Trump, though, as far as whether she's coming to the White House or not. I was just
No,
comment.
I'm talking about Darren.
In what regard? Oh, about moving into the house? About having autism moving down? You don't think it doesn't matter?
Yes.
Oh. Well, you would. I mean, you guys know a lot more about mental health in Germany than we do, so.
No. This is absolutely not important. It's the policy of his father. What has his son to do with it?
Well, that's what we think, right? I mean, so that's. I mean, who knows? Anyway, I mean, we think it's Trump's orders, but we don't. Just saying. There's always that possibility. I don't know. I know. We're really debating that Trump has any clue on how the other 99% live. No, I just no. The whole concept of that real long waste of time was in comparison to the GOP, who's more psychotic, who's more capable of being psychotic. I guess more capable. Let's put it that way. Moving on to other stories. No, LA Times. I don't want to subscribe, but I do want to look at your content for a minute. I thought this was worth just mentioning. Congress votes to expand drug testing for the jobless. It is an enormous waste of money. They've had these programs thinking that people receiving welfare are going out and blowing that money on drugs, not wanting to get jobs, not having kids to feed, not having other things to do. Am I confusing, guys? I'm sorry. But the whole point was that she's not coming to the White. You're right. I was confusing those two. I can't. You know what? I don't give a shit about any of the Trump shit. I just mentioned it because it was in there. That's all. I can't keep track of his goddamn family. I can't. I want to show you guys how much it costs to drug test people and find nothing. Or is it down here? Utah, which started screening TANF applicants in 2012, turned up 29 positive drug tests despite screening 9,552 applicants. It cost them $64,000 to do so. Tennessee screened more than 39,000 welfare applicants, generated 69 positive tests. An additional 116 applicants were denied benefits after they refused to submit to the screening. The program cost them $23,000. Arizona screened 87,000. That yielded... I don't even know. It generated a single positive test. North Carolina screened 7,600, and that yielded a rate of 1%, 21 positive results. I mean, the list goes on. On and on and on and on and on. Could you imagine?
Whatever the fuck he takes, he should stop it. This is completely hilarious.
What? What are you talking about?
Look about the Florida governor.
Oh, whatever he's taking?
Yeah, whatever he's taking, he should stop this. And look at his crazy eyes in the picture.
Yeah, he is a little bit...
Look at what he's taking. It is not good.
What's this guy's name so I don't get it wrong? The governor of Florida?
Something with Scott in the end.
Yeah, Rick Scott. There it is. It's at the bottom. Rick Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a crazy fucker. He's a psychotic, crazy guy.
This was a bad trip, man.
This is the guy that refuses to acknowledge that climate change is actually screwing his state. This is a guy who doesn't acknowledge the power of solar. This is a guy who, I don't know, is just, that's an awful lot of money spent on trying to prove that welfare people are using drugs. Regular people use drugs. Lots of people use drugs. Why do we give a fuck? Why don't we leave them alone? Give them a chance to get a fucking job. Jeez. It's like persecuting somebody. What are you guys talking about? Deep State is against Trump. They believe they're MSN bullshit. You guys are talking about that. It'll be interesting to see who is against and for Trump. I really don't think the actual inner government wants him. He's whatever. He was a tool, and they're having a hard time using that tool. He's an unruly tool. Florida here, Dickwad. Yes, hey, Jupiter Judy. I know, you're there. I know. I'm sorry. I hope you can move inland, or are inland. All right, moving on to even more fun subjects. Just want to make sure I didn't hit the wrong. What to do with white privilege? I might as well just show you the card. That's the next thing. Drug testing the wrong people. What to do with white privilege? White privilege is you know, as a white guy who is oblivious often to just how privileged I am, it's important that we take the time to study it, to understand it, to know thyself. And that's important for the end here. But why do we need to look at these things? Why do we need to hear them? Why, you know, as a white person, it's not enough just to say, "Oh yeah, I get it, I know." No, we have to spend the time to really take it in, or else we don't really want to change anything about it. The whole reason I end up in recursive loops live is because I catch myself in my own bullshit. I catch the indoctrination or the white privilege or, you know, whatever it is, and I'm like, that's not right. Where did that come from? Oh, I don't know. It's just not right. Just acknowledge it. Hear it. Know that you said it. Know that you shouldn't have said that or shouldn't have thought that way, and move on. That's what we don't do. Mainstream media stopped that reflection, that perspective and reflection. They used to do that. They used to give America an opportunity to reflect on those issues. And I'm not saying there aren't shows today that do that in some ways, but it's not happening on your news. The only reflection you do on the news is whether the Dow is up and down and what the puppies look like at the end. Nobody takes the time to reflect on the serious stories and how they actually affect human beings. You just move on to the next one. And that's part of what we're lacking as a nation in terms of wisdom, growth, is knowing ourselves. We're doing that right now. We're in the growing pains of that right now. We're going to take a look at white privilege after we get this video to stop playing. Couple clips to run. This first one is just a woman at a conference. And for white people, listen to what she has to say, because it's it's quite, you know, I wouldn't stand up. Would you? And turn off Slacker again. Here.
What's good? My name is
Oh no, this is the wrong one. Hang on. Jeez, I switched these. I gave you the setup for the wrong one. Let's do this first. This one's better. This one's longer. This is first. This is what is a white privilege explained in 5 minutes. These guys are great. I've got a link. They're Archduke. I've got a link to their GoFundMe page. And just, this is well done. This is well done in a way that I hope will provide some perspective.
What's good? My name is Charity Croft. Have you ever been called unprofessional for wearing your hair the way it naturally grows out of your scalp? Is your race accused of being terrorists for wearing scarves on their heads? Have you been stereotyped as a thug, terrorist, gang member, ghetto, lawn mowing guy, rapper, or immigrant for no reason at all when you were just like, standing there? Well, if you said no to most or all of those questions, then you, my friend, have what is called white privilege. White privilege. Yes, Jacob, white privilege. He sings well. That's all the black privilege we get. Oh, and also he plays basketball. It all started with a basketball, y'all. But we're not talking about rapping, dancing, singing black privilege. We're talking about world-dominating, culturally appropriating, ruling almost every nation white privilege. Now, what entire nation is white privilege? I worked for everything I ever got. I tell you what.
I'm sure you did, Mr. or Mrs. White Privilege, but your skin made it way easier. White privilege means no one questions why you got into that really, really great school or how you got that really, really great job. It's just assumed that you're highly qualified.
White privilege is living in a country in which 87% of the lawmakers look like you, despite the fact that your race makes up nowhere near 87% of the country.
White privilege is Googling the word beauty and it's showing hundreds of pictures of white women.
White privilege is Googling the word God and it's showing hundreds of pictures of white men.
White privilege means you don't have to worry about being monitored in a store because you look like you steal stuff.
White privilege is being 6 times less likely to be arrested than black people.
White privilege is your history being taught as a part of the core curriculum and mine being offered as an elective.
White privilege is reading a history book that doesn't start off with you being a slave or a barbaric savage.
White privilege is being able to teach history only from the perspective of the colonizer.
Speaking of colonization, white privilege is being able to get lost at sea thinking you're going to India, end up somewhere else that already had millions of people and still be credited as discovering the country. In fact, white privilege is when anything that you didn't know about is a new discovery as soon as you notice it.
White privilege means the ability to protest racism, ask for equality, and not be considered a hate group. White privilege is also having a hate group like the KKK be listed as a non-violent Christian organization and not have the rest of your race be labeled as terrorists.
White privilege is not having your application thrown out because your name is weird. In fact, white privilege is when anything that's not regular or common to your race is weird.
White privilege is being able to walk into a church, kill 8 people, then be walked out by police and taken to Burger King.
White privilege is not having the celebration of your entire race's contributions to the world relegated to just 1 month because we talk about the cool stuff your ancestors did every month.
White privilege means you want to be told to go back to your country.
White privilege is being able to come to a country and literally massacre 90% of the indigenous people and then enslave the other 10% and then say it is your God-given manifest destiny to shine from sea to shining sea. So you continue to slaughter the whole country and then give it your own name and your own laws, and yet you are never called a terrorist or a warmongering murderer or a psychopath, but instead you get your face literally carved on the side of the very mountains in which you stole, and thereby glorified forever as not a deranged killer, but a founding father who did something courageous and beautiful.
But how can we move forward if we dwell on the past? Plus, I mean, there were white slaves in America too, right?
Little nigga, no, it was not.
Well, not quite, but there were indentured servants. And in the slave codes of 1705, especially in the act concerning servants and slaves, colonial rulers so graciously awarded the poor whites certain legislated privileges.
In fact, Chet, tell them what they want.
A small plot of land, wages after their sentence was over, the right to sue masters in court, and exemption from public whipping for punishment. While at the same time, the legislator wrote down the laws which provided the institutionalized foundations for chattel slavery for Africans.
What's in the chattel slavery package, Chet?
Well, all sorts of horrible things like pulling apart families, sending children, mothers, and fathers in 3 different directions, free beatings for speaking in your native tongue, casual lynchings and public beatings, rape, and many other atrocities for a couple 100 years. Ah, so bad it's almost good. Really? Of course not. From that time on throughout U.S. history, to be white, even to be poor and white, has meant to have access to certain forms of preferential treatment or privilege. Now, this is not said to make white people feel guilty about their privilege. It's not your fault you were born with white skin, and I get it. You're not your ancestors. But whether you realize it or not, you do benefit from it, and it is your fault if you do not maintain awareness of that fact.
White privilege is absolutely a thing. And being able to deny the fact that it is a thing simply because it doesn't affect you is even a further testament to its existence. Our world has been purposefully skewed in the favor of white people. And no, you aren't responsible for your ancestors' doings. However, if we do not recognize the problem, then we can never truly remedy it. The first step to enlightenment is awareness of the darkness. If we truly want to live as one, we must first create a world that is good for all. I love you.
I think that's a very well done video.
Yeah.
There's a link to the GoFundMe for those guys, Archduke. If you feel inspired by their work, as I did. It's very cool what they did there. And they're right. You know, Marcus, can't argue with it.
Yeah. Great video, and it had everything in it, yes. And those people who once questioned when Black Lives Matter was on the way during the campaign, and said no, every life matters. Of course, every life matters. But I think we cannot, as white people, we cannot imagine what it means to be black in this kind of society, to be confronted every day with some stupid racism, you know. And I think this is a thing we won't never understand. We won't never really understand how it is felt to be treated like this, you know. And this is why I think Black Lives Matter as a slogan is so important and cannot be watered with each matters, which is self-explanatory in my opinion.
Well said. Yes. Yes. Yeah. You guys are talking about Soros? Why? Chad Lupke's, every check that I have received from Soros has bounced? Interesting. Hilarious. Yeah.
We're good.
Moving on. I was going to play that other video, but I'm not now. It's just not worth it. The other video, basically a woman in a room at a conference, and it's mostly white people, and she just says, okay, everybody, how many of you would be okay as white people to be treated the way black people are treated today? Stand up. None of them stood up. I wouldn't stand up. If you don't stand up, then you know for a fact we don't have equality. We live with it every day. We're okay with that. Moving on into the last really heavy story. We talked about the ice holes yesterday, and they're still doing horrific things. And this came out yesterday. This video came out yesterday. It's an Auschwitz survivor confronts the ICE directory. History is not on your side. And we're going to listen to the video as this gentleman speaks his piece in front of this ice hole. And I just want everybody to ponder when what kind of a person it takes to continue to do this job when you've got survivors of Nazi death camps calling you out. I mean, that's, what does it say?
Sheriff Jones.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for the forum that you have here tonight. When I was a little boy in Poland, for no other reason but for being Jewish, I was hauled off by the Nazis. And for no other reason, I was picked up and separated from my family, who was exterminated in Auschwitz. And I am a survivor of Auschwitz and Dachau. I spent 5.5 years in concentration camp.
Sorry, sir, I couldn't hear that.
I spent 5.5 years in concentration camp for one reason and one reason only. Because we picked on people. And you as the sheriff, who we elected as sheriff of this county, we did not elect you as sheriff of Washington, D.C. It's about time you serve the people here. And when this gentleman stands up there and he says he doesn't go after any people, he should read today's beat. Because in today's beat, the Supreme Court Justice of State of California objected to ICE coming in and taking people away from the courts. Don't tell me that this is a lie. You stand up here, Mr. Jones, don't forget. History is not on your side.
Yeah, we're not going to let that dick face respond. He babbled something here and there about blah, 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 courts, blah, 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 and it's for the safety, which is a crock of shit. The fact that they're going into courts, they're going into places unannounced. They're acting like a fucking Gestapo. I read a report where they busted into some dude's home, shot him, claimed he had a gun. He wasn't even on a list. They just broke into his fucking home. Wasn't even on a list. I don't know who these people think they are, but at some point, and I say this not because I'm hoping it happens, but at some point justice is going to kill some ICE. And ICE better beware, because they're asking to ignite a flame that they don't want. They don't want it. And none of us want it. But this kind of shit, hearing these stories of our government out of control, breaking into people's homes, breaking up families, taking people, they don't even know who the fuck these people are. They're that fucking stupid, out of their minds. And at some point it's going to come to a head. It's going to go beyond trying to take back our democracy. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. That's my personal feeling right now. I'm very okay with that. 165 people have died while in ICE custody. They just had a whole lawsuit proving that there's tons of people that are being treated like shit. It's absolutely abhorrent what we're doing. And it's very, very hard for me not to say that I think violence is absolutely necessary against ICE. I know it's wrong. That's what I'm fighting. That's the conflict I'm fighting right now. I'm so enraged at who they are and who they think they fucking are. I'm so enraged at it. Just absolutely enraged. It's just never been this angry. I thought I was angry before with W. Thought I was angry before about the lies about the Iraq and Iran war. Nope. No, we reached a whole new level of anger. That we literally have American Nazis. American Nazis working for the federal government. You know, and I see you, Marcus, shaking your head. I know. That's why I got to say it, to get it out.
Yeah, I think it would be more important to organize against ICE.
Yes.
Instead of confronting them with weapons or with violence.
But and there have been efforts to do so, but at the end of the day, there's nothing you can do. At the end of the day, ICE has weapons, and at the end of the day, ICE is either going to arrest you, use their weapons, or they haven't stopped ICE yet.
Try to hide people somewhere. I don't know.
I know.
Some ways. But open violence against ICE. It's a no-brainer that it won't work.
I know it's a losing battle. I'm not equipped.
Yes.
You know, I'm not equipped. What am I going to do? I don't know.
It starts there.
Yeah,
if you go to a battle, don't take a knife with you.
Oh my gosh, we can even talk about that too. The whole, I'm surprised that Trump and team or GOP and team hasn't gone the direction of Hitler Youth. With the whole, I'm surprised. But that lends to the violence. We were talking about earlier. So just to what Marcus is going to the point here. This is why you got to go through these phases. You got to recognize the evil. It's evil. We're fighting evil. I'm not fighting an ideology. I'm not fighting a side. I'm fighting evil. This is an evil that has arisen. Hitler was an evil. Okay? We are fighting an evil that encompasses a vast majority of our government and folks behind our government. We don't know who the fuck they are. That's a battle of right and wrong. And that's the conflict. That's the difficult conflict. Is rising above the violence and doing this with government, and man, it is hard. As we get closer and closer, as things get more and more tense, it becomes more and more difficult. It's amazing, It's just really amazing, and yeah, pitchforks and torches, rebel. Exactly, right. That's Steve. That's and. Like I have
Did
this.
you see the new?
What?
Did you see the new police equipment they just got?
No. What do they got?
They got a lot of fun stuff for the police.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like vehicles who can build walls automatically, combined with tear gas, and so for every street, for every bridge of a street, they have the perfect vehicle right now.
I'm sure.
This I think. if it comes to this, it would only lead to civil. As a good part would be to go into civil disobedience, not go to work or something like this. But this is not actually right now happening right now, and it doesn't need to happen right now. The situation is not worse enough. Not yet worse enough.
No, but knowing where it's headed, can we preempt it? Can we preempt it? That's my question. Knowing where it's headed, we don't want to wait for it to get there. We want to preempt it. We want to stop this. That's
everything needs its time.
We're working on it. We're working on it. I hope we can do it in time.
Me too.
Yeah. All right. That was the last of the really heavy shit. Moving on into some other things that are not necessarily as heavy but fun. So yes, Congress, what was it, like 50 senators and 265 overall congressional peeps voted to take away our internet privacy, allow ISPs to sell our data, charge us more for certain things, less for certain things. It's basically the good part of the TPP that they wanted. I say good in air quotes. This is the part that the destruction of net neutrality. They got that. That was like our all that big threat and worry of what the TPP was in terms of internet. Boom, just happened. Like it's like in a flash, in a pan. Just. And what does it mean? It means that ISPs can sell your personal data, among other things. They can charge you differently. And so there's this group here. That's what this is. This is search internethistory.com. And what this guy is trying to do is raise money to purchase the internet histories of our politicians. And he has a list here of who should be first. And out of 66,997 votes right now, Paul Ryan, who I voted for most definitely, is number one on the list. Marsha Blackburn, I don't even know who she is, but apparently everybody wants her internet history. Mitch McConnell is second, and I'm with that I'm third. Mitch McConnell is third. I'm frightened of what would be in Mitch's email or internet history. I really am. He's a scary man. Does he look at turtle porn? You gotta wonder. Yeah. Look at those turtles go.
Oh dear.
I'm telling you, we're going to have so much fun with their internet history. We really are. It's going to be a blast. Everybody should donate to that. It really, it's obvious that our old establishment tools do not understand the power of the internet and do not understand how to use it effectively. So we might as well beat them over the head with it as often as we can. Costs us a few bucks. It's going to cost us billions of dollars to replace all the people in our governments. We might as well spend some on some fun, This isn't Bowie. It's not a party fight. It's a now fight. Absolutely. Oh, I'm glad you found that funny. Turtle porn. Yeah, that should be the hashtag. Turtle porn. There's fetishes for everything. It's out there. Okay, I was wrong. There's more serious stuff. Shit. We went from turtle porn to this. I'm sorry. This is... I really thought we were done, Marcus. I'm sorry, my friend. You can't bounce from turtle porn to frickin' serious revolutionary stuff.
Okay, I will see how we'll get there.
What do we do? Turtlegate. Nice, metalhead. Who's calling their congressman? Joanne, I am. Yeah, the internet shit is crazy. But really, let's just get their history, Joanne. They're not going to change it. 265 of them. And, and one of them is an Oregon dude. Walden. We got to get rid of Walden, everybody. Apparently, he has no problem giving up our internet history. Says it's good for business. Yeah. But before we get there, I forgot about this. This is I was supposed to segue into this. I think Turtle was supposed to be after this. I messed up. Told you I was a little sleepy today. Spain, looking very fascist these days. Wasn't Spain fascist before? Or was that somebody else? I don't know. Spain used to be pretty badass in the day.
Yeah.
They were the big cheese, and everybody worked for Spain, basically. You didn't fuck with Spain. Today, apparently, Spain has a problem with people that say shit on the internet. And I didn't know this. I'm a little frightened about Spain. Spanish woman given jail term for tweeting jokes about Franco-era assassination. All right, now, apparently the jokes were in bad taste. And, boy, that never happens on the internet. Right? I mean, we have people say stupid shit on the internet all the time and then retract or delete and then apologize. That's called being human. Not that I'm justifying it at all. You know, you do something, get your ass handed to you, lose your job, lose your career. That's your fault. You did it. Opened your mouth. Whoops. You tweeted something stupid or something hurtful or something that really wasn't, whatever it is, right? And that's what this woman did. So she tweeted some not really good taste jokes about how some people died. 2 years, like 2 years ago. And the Spanish government decided to censor and sentence her to a 2-year prison term for saying mean things on the internet, basically. Because nobody ever says mean things on the internet, right, Marcus? I mean,
Never ever, man.
I tell Trump to fuck off every day. My God, I would be shot. I would have been shot 900 times by now. You know? Or in prison. That's why I say we're this close. That's why I say we're this close.
It's a scandal, in my opinion, that and if she would bring this to a European Union court, I think this would be revealed.
No, yeah, I mean, so look, I mean, she's got a massive amount of support on the internet. She's,
of course,
believe it or not, the internet's like, okay, bitch, move, but doesn't need to go to jail for it. That's called censorship.
No.
Right?
No. She doesn't go to jail for it because it's
I know.
It's a sentence of 12 months only.
No. She won't even go. She won't even go to jail. Like normally, this crime in Spain, the jail sentencing is the ooh. They don't actually put you in jail. That's the way the Spanish law works. So she won't do jail time. But the fact that they would even go after her, that she would need to defend herself for this shit is what's frightening.
Yes, of course. I completely agree about it. But and if she has the intention to bring this to the European Union court, then she will get right again.
The Spain. So I'm a
I
dumb
don't know if
American. Dumb American. Is Spain a member of the European Union? Is that what it is?
Spain is a member of the European Union, of course.
Okay. So sorry, dumb American. Yeah. That's why you're saying
No.
that.
You're absolutely right. That this is a scandal. That this happened in Spain.
So she can appeal this like this happened in Spain court, but she can appeal it in the European Union court. Is that what you're telling me?
If she doesn't accept the judge and the sentence, then she goes to the next step. And if they confirm this sentence, then she can say, okay, I go another step. And finally, it would lead to the European Union court.
Wow, it's like appeals court, I guess, here.
Yes.
Okay. She goes to appeals court, goes to a higher level of appeals court, and a higher level.
And they would have to decide about the freedom of speech. And this as jokes, and I think those jokes were not that bad. I think I heard a worse joke than she did.
Really?
But it would be the same. Would be the same with Jan Böhmermann and the Turkish Prime Minister Erdogan. And it was satire, and then the judges have to check what's the difference between satire and what's the difference between joke. This would be very entertaining to see.
Yes, it would. Yes, it would. And I would like to see a Böhmermann's take on it as well. That's good. That's good to know. I had no idea. That's really cool. I didn't realize that she had that. Yeah, that's what everybody's talking about.
Yes, it's an option.
Yeah, that's cool. I didn't know that. Thank you for educating me on that. I appreciate that. It's bullshit. I mean, I don't know. Come on, Spain, really? You know.
It is bullshit.
And really, you guys are talking about Trump changing libel laws and other things. I mean, it's like, you know, we're this close. They're passing laws left and right now because the GOP has really full control. They can't, Dems can't do shit. They can't even organize their own party. And you know, they can pass what they want. They are passing what they want. Coal factories now dumping that stuff right into streams. How's everybody streams these days? You know, we just repealed all the Obama era climate rules. The auto industry, I said this yesterday, the auto industry doesn't even want those repealed. ExxonMobil, yeah, that was the other one. Freaking Exxon. You know why? Because Exxon is in the middle of dealing with the fact that their investors are looking at saying, you fucked us. You did not go. So they're like, wait a minute, in terms of business, dude, you can't go back up on this shit because we just got caught. Yeah.
And they have the studies on the table, and they know that the time is limited.
Yeah.
The time for fossil fuels and coal is running out.
Yeah. They know they have to change if they want to stay in business. They know they have to become a renewable energy company. They know this.
Exactly.
Even if they think they can drag fossil fuels out another 100 fucking years, they know they have to shift. That's the thing. They can't deny the shift. That's smart business. And so they're like, dude, yeah, it's hilarious. All right. So what we're doing here is moving it, ground game, Rhode Island. Janine Calkin again, of course. Janine for the win in Rhode Island. Now, when I say that, keep in mind it's just Janine's involved with all these things, but obviously she's just representative of a group of people, a large group of volunteers, an organization or whatnot. What are we talking about here? Ground game, Rhode Island healthcare, heroes and ice holes. See, I got those. We get the ice holes. Was supposed to be later, but that's another story on the ice holes. That's a direct action. You're going to love this, Marcus. Direct action, non-violent, good. And there's nothing I don't think they can do about it. It's pretty cool, actually. So anyway, we're going to watch this video right now, which is Rhode Island. Janine posted this. It's Reproductive Rights for All, Rhode Island Healthcare Act. And before I play this, there was a thing. Janine had posted something else in Facebook this morning, and I actually commented, responded, which is not something I do anymore these days, or usually, but it was like fired me up on it. And it was about people opposing. They were opposed in Rhode Island to the minimum wage bill. So I'm guessing the minimum wage bill that she brought in did not get a hearing, or I'll have to check in on the status of that. But it sounds like there was some opposition to it, right? And there were people arguing, it's obviously not a bill conducive to business. That's the argument. It's like anytime it's about employee benefits, it's not conducive to business. It's bad for business if it's a benefit for your employee. That makes no sense, because good business people take care of their fucking employees, and if you can't take care of your employees, you're a bad business person, and you shouldn't be in business. That's the way it is. There's a lot of, and then so I basically wrote that. I wrote that. God damn it! If you don't want to take care of your employees, you're a dick. You're greedy. Fuck you. Janine wrote back, I've talked to a lot of business people. They don't really want to do this. They want to pay their employees a higher wage. They want to be able to do this. They're looking for help. They're looking for an answer to work this. Not all business people want to be assholes. I'm like, you're right. I was one of them. I couldn't find a way to pay my one employee a decent wage, so I had to let my one employee go. I failed, right? The failure's mine, not the employees. Why would I punish the employee because I can't run an effective business? That's essentially what's now. You could say, well, she lost her job. Right, but she had an opportunity to go find another job that she liked, making a wage she was okay with. That's not my problem that she can't find a job with her skill set. It's my problem that I can't pay her a wage that it was worthy of her skill set. Right? Anyway, I wanted to talk about that because I thought the conversation that was happening was quite interesting, and a lot of people had a lot to say, and Janine was listening and taking in the statements, and it was really cool. That's a state senator having a discussion on Facebook with other people, not even constituents, just whoever, about the concept of minimum wage. Chad Lupke's joined in the conversation. It was cool. That's how democracy should be. It's this open conversation that gets shit done. And we have the tools to make that happen beyond Facebook these days. All right. Rhode Island. Here we go.
You look rough. Watching the news again?
Yeah. Things are getting real with the Supreme Court. Roe v. Wade could be overturned.
Yeah, well, good thing we live in Rhode Island, where like 2/3 of Rhode Islanders strongly support reproductive freedom. Why would the government make personal medical decisions for us? I feel sorry for those other states.
Actually, Rhode Island has no laws on the books to protect reproductive freedom. If federal protections are removed, we'll lose one of our basic civil rights.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah. But Rhode Island is in a position to change that. The Reproductive Health Care Act would keep abortion safe and legal and ensure reproductive freedom for all Rhode Islanders, regardless of what happens on the national level. We can do this. We have the numbers. We just need to make each voice heard.
So what can I do?
Find out who your rep is and what their contact info is. Go to vote.sos.ri.gov.
I actually just did that earlier.
Nice. Now call.
Call. All right.
And show up. And share this with all you know who value reproductive freedom.
Well, there you go. Nice video there that Janine shared. Looks like they've got a bill on the books. Take care of that, and hopefully it will pass through. I know she's working hard. That's ground game, right? That's somebody at a level of ground game that's pretty high up in the state, and that's good. Right? That's what we need. I know there's a major buzz. The audio for the Vimeo was really, really low, and it was difficult to get that up. Sorry about that, guys. There's still issues with the audio in here. I'm sorry. We're trying to make it better. I really am. Let's see if I can run that again. If everyone made a minimum of $15 an hour, I would sell more, and then I could afford to hire someone. If I don't get that, GOP doesn't get that. Maybe they do. I don't get that GOP doesn't get that. Maybe they do, but they don't want big corps to have to pay. Exactly, Melissa. When you have CEOs that make 450 times what their minimum employee makes, and the standard for business says 20 times is good enough, 40 times is excessive, and we're adding a zero to that. 400 times. That's just greed. That's just outright greed. CEO salaries could easily pay for wage increases. Executive salaries could easily pay for wage increases, could easily pay for all the benefits. That's the problem, is that we've allowed this greed to occur. Corporations need to be brought to heel. And that's just the way it needs to be. The power needs to be put back in the hands of the consumer, and we've lost all of that power in the last 40 years thanks to two-party government that cares more about profit than people. On both sides. Both sides. Anyway. Here, this is that direct action against ICE that I thought was great. This is a state rep, Dubois, and she has a message for those who don't care about her supporting tipping off drug dealers about ICE raids. And she literally did this. She's tweeting, ICE raid in Brockton on 3/28 and 29th. If you get picked up by ICE, call Legal Services direct line for immigration help. She's tipping off the people when she finds out information about it. And I think it's fantastic. She's a state rep. She's making a statement there. I fully support her. I might even donate to her campaign. I don't even know. Did you
read the tweet in the end of the article?
No. What is it? Or maybe I did it.
Okay, go down. Just before the photo, there was a complaint about her. And this is how she reacted. I think this is a great reaction.
Okay, so that's what the... Here, hang on. Yeah, at the very bottom one, I didn't show you this. It says, I would never... From this person who's pissed off. I would never vote for you. This post endangers me due to you possibly obstructing an investigation and capture of criminals. Well, no. Shame on you. And she shared that picture. Well-behaved women rarely make history. Which is absolutely true. We all know for a fact that the incident of immigrant crime or immigrant-related, non-documented crime is bullshit. It's low comparatively. There's more white terror happening in the United States right now every fucking day. Not just in America, but around the world. White terror. We are white terror. ICE is a white terror group. So, yeah. Good for her. And anybody who thinks that ICE is actually doing something important and for the nation, you're wrong. You're just 100% wrong. ICE doesn't need to exist. ICE should be destroyed. And when we take back our government, I hope that's on the list. Is to get rid of ICE completely. Get rid of Homeland Security completely. Get rid of the TSA completely. Because all three agencies are basically fascist agencies on the rise. They're ineffectual and pointless. TSA has caught nothing. Nothing. It's amazing. They have thwarted nothing. And all of their bullshit. All these organizations just based on, literally, it's just America, the penis extension. Every organization is a little boys club. Really, that's what it feels like to me. We are the intellectual retards of the world. It's like our nation is just so stupid because our government has forsaken our education and we've allowed it to do so. And I can't wait until we can put back some true education standards. Take 2/3 of the budget away from the military and put a whole chunk of that into education and everything else. That's a glorious day. I work towards that day where I can no longer be ashamed of where I am. Like, America's a pretty good place again. We care about people. We've got clean energy. We're educating our kids. They're not dying in the streets. Veterans aren't homeless. I like this place.
This is the leading role I want to see America in again.
Yeah.
Or in, not again.
Yeah.
Because this gives the example for democracy. We need America. We need you.
Look, if America can turn around, anybody can turn around. We're the we're the poster child for can we do it. We'll see. We got to turn America around, and then we have to save the planet. Not so hopeful. Here's the Oregon guy. Fellow Oregonians, make sure we don't vote this asshat back in. His name is Walden. Oregon lawmaker who voted to roll back online privacy, received donations from the telecom industry. House Energy and Commerce Committee chairman. Go figure. House Energy and Commerce Committee chairman. Those two things, energy and commerce. Why are those two things together? I don't understand why those two things are. Anyway, energy and commerce. Rep. Greg Walden, Republican, of course, of Oregon. One of the stewards of the Republican healthcare legislation, speaks with reporters outside. He was one of the stewards of the Republican healthcare legislation? Now, go figure. He wrote that pile of shit? Wow. Anyway, let's make sure we don't vote for that guy.
Yes.
Is it a crime to fart when TSA checks your bunghole for RPG rockets? No. Probably not. We're going 100 miles an hour in the wrong direction. Yes, Rose, we are. We are. Petrodollar. I know, the petrodollar. We've got to kill the petrodollar. Climate change is going to help with that, guys. It really is. I believe Scott Pruitt has done his best to remove science from the EPA, and now he just wants you to listen to him. So he's rejecting the agency's science, not even an outside group. Like his own agency did this study on an insecticide that is pretty much banned worldwide. It's only used in the United States because every other fucking country realized that it was causing it causes child defects and all sorts of crap. It's bad. And apparently we use it on like 40,000 farms in the United States, a very small group of farms that produce a couple things like almonds and some other shit. And he's like, fuck your science. Fuck the rest of the world. I don't believe in any of it. That's why I'm the EPA chief for Trump. And this stuff's okay. Just another reason to make sure you're getting your food locally, if possible. Unless you're getting your food from one of those 40,000 farms that uses this for whatever. I mean, it's just unbelievable. It's backwards. We are a backwards nation. I knew he was going to do bad things. I knew he was going to do bad things. I never knew he was going to go this backwards. This is literally going to be marked as the backwards presidency, because all he's done is move us backwards. There has been absolutely nothing to make America great again. There's been absolutely nothing forward about anything he's done. Everything he's done, reminiscent of the Middle Ages, really. Backwards for us. Backwards. Very far. Yes, energy and commerce. Is that the petrodollar? Is that why we're energy and commerce? That makes sense. Oh, God, I got to tell you this, Marcus.
What?
Speaking of energy and commerce and the petrodollar, I may not really understand what it is, but I totally understand how powerful it is. I know you don't have commercials like this in Germany. Maybe you do. I'm going to describe it. So here in America, well, in Europe, like there's that show, or that used to be that show, Top Gear. You know that show?
Yeah.
And it's the 3 British dudes that drive the cars, right?
Yeah.
And they're always driving the cars, so they're promoting the auto industry, and they're promoting cars that run on gasoline, and you know about that, right? So in America, we have many shows that are promoting of automobiles and the auto industry and motorcycles, and we even have commercials that promote the auto and motorcycle industry that are really about men's dicks, right?
All right.
It's like you hear guys on his motorcycle and see how big my dick is. I'm gonna go get laid because I have Cialis. I mean that's basically what the commercials here. It's here was the commercial I saw. It was in between. Like I turn the TV on during the day when I'm working out here, and I go inside just to see what's going on. Usually it's on the Weather Channel, but often it ends up on like Discovery Channel, and they run a lot of like car shows these days. There's this one where it's guys that build street hot rods and then race them, right? The commercial set on the street hot rod racing show, as I was flying through the house, was a motorcycle commercial, and they were talking about putting freedom in your tank. Put some freedom in your tank today, and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Put some freedom in. They're talking about filling your tank of gas. Put some free. And I think it was a commercial for particular gasoline, like Exxon or something. Put freedom in your tank with Phillips 66. And I was like, oh my fucking God, are you kidding me?
This is nothing what we did in the 70s, man. We used to put tigers in the tank.
Put what?
Tigers.
Oh, put tigers in the tank? What do you mean?
Yeah, there was a slogan. I think it was Exxon. I'm not sure about it.
Oh,
in
yeah.
The 70s, it goes like this, go here to, in Germany it's called Esso, come here to Esso and put the tiger in the tank.
I remember that.
I remember this, all right.
That was equating environmental goodness, a tiger,
Yeah.
energy, strength.
The tiger was great, yes.
With the, yeah, no.
And for a decade or maybe even longer, our commercials for fossil fuels or gasoline are like, we are the most caring company for environment.
Right.
And all we do is great for environment. And you see blue skies and green grass and roses and flowers and animals and everything is beautiful. And
I know. It's the same BS. It's that's the same. So the United States was brilliant at its propaganda in that regard, business and commerce and capitalism. We were talking about the same kind of brilliance in I just want to sideline on this real quick, guys, because this is true. This is like learning on the spot, hitting me in the face. I was telling Marcus earlier a story about when I was a kid. I had a friend named Chris Anderson. It's really fast. His father had some ties or relationships to World War II and his family because they were from Norwegian, or they were over there, Scandinavian people. I don't know. Somehow he ended up with some Nazi World War II artifacts. He had an armband, and he had a knife. He also had a gun, a pistol, whatever the standard German pistol was. I can't remember what, a Luger.
Luger.
Yes, a Luger. Yes. But he had this knife. And so I was 5th grade, 11, 12 years old. All right. So you know that age for a boy even a nerdy boy thinks knives are cool at 11, 12 years old. All right, it's a knife. All right. And they had these really cool. Chris and I never knew what the knife was for. We made up all sorts of fucking stories. Right? This knife belonged to the SS commander over here, or this knife belonged to the German general over here. We had no fucking idea what it really. It was just a really cool, and it was a cool knife. I can't argue with. They spent a lot of care designing. It was really fucking cool. It was. And it had writing on it. We didn't know what the writing was. We didn't have Google, so we couldn't really look up the German at the time. So I want Marcus to explain to you. He knows the history of these daggers. Not a knife, it's a dagger. Okay, with the hilt, everything. Marcus is going to explain to you the history of these knives, what they were created for. Tell us, Marcus.
Yeah, the idea behind the dagger is that every young man or kid who was in the Hitlerjugend, the Hitler Youth, or later in the military, got this dagger, and this was a symbol for the bond they made with Hitler himself. They swear not on the army and not on Germany. They were sworn on Hitler himself. And the dagger was a symbol of the bond they had. And there was an imprint on the dagger. I don't know exactly if I'm right, but it has something to do with blood and honor, and that we swear our fellowship to Adolf Hitler. And this was it was given to them in a quasi-religious ceremony also.
Right, to make it seem awesome and special, kind of like Boy Scouts over here. It was Boy Scouts only for the Hitler Youth, and I mean, if you're a young man, especially at that time, you're incredibly impressionable, and holy shit, that's just going to seem like the coolest fucking thing ever, right? That's brilliant propaganda. That's just brilliant, you know. It's frightening, but it's brilliant.
Yep.
Yeah, and I never knew that. You know, knowing that now, obviously as a kid, I thought it was really exciting and cool to be looking at that stuff, and now I'm like, wow. Now I think knowing what it is, I'm like, imagine the person that wore this stuff and believed it. I wonder what they did. Do you think they did anything horrible? Do you think they had to live with that later? Do you think they get killed? I don't know. But just changes the entire view around those things. It's like white privilege. You know, becoming aware changes a lot of things. Yeah. God was not a part of the Nazi ideology.
No, not at all. They were absolutely against Christianity, and the evangelists and other the witnesses of Jehovah were taken to the concentration camps, and they had nothing in mind with God. They thought God was something which hurt the movement.
Interesting.
So they created their own gods, if you want, and they are based on the old German how do you say it? Before Christianity appeared, pagan times.
Oh, pagan.
They refer to the gods of the pagan times.
Like Odin and stuff?
Odin and stuff, yes. And they celebrated the feast, the summer turns, the spring summer turns. And
the solstice and shit.
Winter turn.
They went back to pagan shit. Yeah, that's what you said, pagan.
Yes. And it was a kind of religious festival.
That's interesting. Well, at least Trump can't do that. He's stuck in going to church wherever they force him to go to church. It's part of the look of the White House. Or he holds services at Mar-a-Lago weekly, it seems. Anyway, yeah. Melissa H., you seem to know a lot about this stuff too.
Yeah, she's very good informed.
Yeah. One of their mottos was, well, what is that? Well, so God is with us, but that's talking of the pagan God.
I disagree. Yes, maybe it was meant this way, because they never refer to Christianity or Christian God or Jesus or something. Never. Right.
Yeah, and I'm just guessing on the Odin. I don't remember. Yeah, Odin's the Norse god. I remember the German goddesses I'm sure they had their equals, their equivalents.
Yes. By the way, the Christian religion stole them. They stole them from many, many countries, and this is what in the end came out as Christianity.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah. Christianity's the biggest. Like, they took the best of everybody, slammed it together into a new book, made the rules really work well for themselves, and pushed it out, and it was like the hottest new thing.
Yeah.
That's Christianity was the biggest new sell ever. Quite effective, really, at control. Just almost as effective as Islam. Almost. And I'm not even going to go there. I'm not going to go there. Anyway, moving on. Last couple things. Where are we at for time? Shit. We're close. We're close. See if we can get through these videos. We're at Pruitt versus Musk. Just really quick. I'm not. I want to run the Fox story because I saw a lot of you guys freaking out about this. Hopefully, Fox won't freak if I run this story. I should be able to run this. If it clams, if it shuts down on us, that sucks. But I really want to run the Fox perspective on this. I know I said that. I said Fox perspective. It's just because it seems to mirror a lot of what I'm hearing other people say, that this is some evil Elon Musk mind control attempt. And I'm all over this. I think this is great. I want to see this happen. This is Elon Musk going for computer integration with human minds. I think it's going to happen. It needs to happen.
Elon Musk wants to upgrade your brain. The tech billionaire is launching a new venture called Neuralink. According to the Wall Street Journal, the company plans to develop brain implants that connect your brain to a computer with the use of neural lace technology. They want to build on existing medical treatments already used to treat such conditions as Parkinson's disease and epilepsy by surgically implanting electrodes into the brain. This could allow humans to improve and reach higher levels of cognitive functioning. Upon the growing rise of artificial intelligence, the company's goal is to one day offer a potential enhancement powerful enough to put humanity on a more even footing with future super-intelligent computers. Musk has been outspoken about the threat of artificial intelligence, even suggesting AI might one day pose a threat to the human race. In a tweet, Musk called the existential risk too high not to pursue and develop brain interface technology. Musk and other like-minded critics warn that the continued growth of AI cognitive capabilities could lead to machines that can outthink and outmaneuver humans, with whom they might have little in common. Musk believes Neuralink could improve human capabilities in the future and make people more competitive in the job market. Millions of jobs are already at risk of being taken over by autonomous technology. In a recent report, more than 4 million driving jobs could be displaced by the advanced technology. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin has said that he is not concerned about artificial intelligence taking U.S. jobs. In an interview with Axios, he said the threat is 50 or 100 more years away. More than 30 companies, including Apple, Ford, Google, Intel, and Uber, are currently working on self-driving vehicles. They predict fully autonomous vehicles will be on the road in 3 to 5 years. For Fox News, I'm Rob Demetrius.
Yeah, there's some funny stuff in there. We'll just say that. They kind of skew it a bit. Steve, I never pronounced his name right. Mnuchin. It's not how I pronounce it. But he's the creepy guy who is Treasury Secretary. I think that's what he is. Anyway, he's like, oh, that's not happening for a while. I just figured out what cell phones are. I mean, he has no fucking idea. He's an idiot. You bet this stuff is going to happen fast. I'm all with Elon Musk. I think the singularity, the consciousness of the first AI is on the way. I think we're going to see it in the next decade. I disagree with Nine Tails that, I think it was Nine Tails who said that computers will never be able to, I want to get your quote right here. Where'd you put it? Mind-controlled computers is possible. Computers can only ever mimic and connect consciousness. I mean, okay, maybe. I don't disagree with you there. I think what I'm trying to say is did we talk about this story before? This is part of what Elon Musk is going for, is to create a substrate-less environment for the human mind. All right, he's going after Neuralink. But the idea is that we take all of us, our consciousness. We're already on the way to mapping that, right? It's not just the brain, some neurons, and this unknown mass. Like, we're mapping consciousness right now. We're understanding how it's stored within our neurons. And we want to be able to transfer that, all of it, that data, into a environment that allows us to be free of the human body. I'm all over that. I'm not interested in dying in 100 years or 80 years or 70 years, really. I'd like to do a lot more, accomplish a lot more. I don't believe in life after death. All right. So personally, for me, I think this is a fantastic idea. Right? I do have like crazy nightmares. Like the first person that the brain they try to put in there, like all you hear is, "Oh my God, it's too crowded. Kill me," and then they die. Right. But I would hope that they do some experiments, before that to try to clarify space.
I completely disagree here, John. I completely disagree.
Really?
Yes. There's a company who takes the right to decide how the human race will be in the future. But where's the democratic discussion about it?
Who cares? I mean, but why?
Yeah, who cares? I care. I care. Exactly, I care. Because I want this to be discussed. And I want to know in what purpose it is done.
He doesn't have the freedom to just do it? Doesn't have the freedom to just do it?
I'm sorry?
Why? I think he's made it clear why he's doing it. He wants to integrate humans with technology. That's already coming. The FDA has already approved neural links. The FDA, our ancient FDA, has already approved neural linking. And you can be like, that's for mind control. I know everybody's saying mind control. It's like, you're not already we're already mind controlled.
I see the danger of misusing this stuff. And I would like not to be confronted with facts, but with the discussions before. Because this changes democracies. This changes everything.
Does it now? It changes humans. But
yes.
Let me ask you this. How does this change humanity any more than steroids changes some of us? Or than exercise in general? Or than...
No, John. Because I'm against the other thing doesn't mean I'm for steroids or other stuff.
No. I'm just saying.
No.
I realize that. I'm not using. Yes, that was a logical fallacy. I'm just throwing that out at you. But until we screw it up, Lynn Vermont says, Michael, until we screw it up. How do we know this isn't the path that gods go?
Yeah. Okay. This is a thesis which cannot be answered. Then we better stick to the steroid stuff, John.
We have 12 seconds left to finish the show on time. Let's discuss.
Okay. Show me the paper or show me something where it's written that it's God's will.
No, not God's will. That this is the way gods go. That this is how this. We've already as the human being creates an AI, we create a new being. Okay. The fact that we use that it's born of technology. All right. That's how human beings have changed the universe around them, is to integrate technology in with the natural.
Yeah.
That's what's on the way.
But not always to its best. We know about the nuclear bomb, right?
Right, but that's absolutely. So, the same thing could be said about the Earth. Not everything that happened on the Earth was good or bad. It just happened. It was the same thing with animals and other species. So this is how gods learn.
Yeah, but don't you think a discussion is needed and worthy? I think it is, because it is a huge game changer. And there's a company who is doing this. It's a corporation.
Well, yeah.
So be careful.
Well, you know me. I'd sign up to do anything for
Musk.
I would be a Musk youth. All right, so I would sign up for the full Musk indoctrination. All right, I would sign up for all of it. Mind control me. Do whatever you want. That's fine. I trust that man. I know there's a lot of people that are saying that there's some evilness going on in there, especially with the way he's treated his employees. Or the company, one of his companies have treated employees. So, I don't know. It is frightening. It's certainly frightening to think of the idea of that technology in the hands of our current government. Right? But to think that, the Army isn't already all over that, or has it, right? Some of the things in the Fox article that I thought were just kind of funny was the idea that, we're worried about these 4 million driver jobs. Yeah, you're not going to compete with automation, right? If Elon Musk is trying to enhance human beings, it's so that we can stay gods to our creation. All right, think about that. But our creation will surpass us. Our creation will have its flaws. It's not perfect because we are not. But it will surpass us in knowledge and intelligence and hopefully in fucking wisdom. Yeah. Musk is trying to, we understand that we've had at least 2,000 years of suppression, religious education suppression, globally. 2,000 fucking years of keeping the vast majority of humanity stupid and subservient. All right, so you take an AI.
Exactly.
Yeah. You're like smiling. You take an AI and you feed it all this fucking information. An AI that can process it, understand it, grasp it.
Yes, and then the AI says, okay, I will start the program to kill this idiot.
Right. Well, no, and that's why, and that's why Musk. That's why Musk is concerned. If we can't bring people up to a level of understanding and education above our creation is going to be like, wow, God is dumb.
I think the first step, in my opinion, should be to start to get to get the own supercomputer in our brain started, because this is what the humankind did not learn in two or 4,000 years.
Yeah.
You can only depend on one thing, on the stupidity of human mankind. It always works.
Yeah. We're rising above that. But so Metalhead just said something. The history of the use of technology by man has been to weaponize it. Period. Right. We're in the process of changing that paradigm. The idea of stopping the violence, break the cycle, right? We won't do these. We got to do that too. We got to do that in parallel, right? Understand this. We have to, in order to save the planet, we'll have to get there, right? So there's this whole transformation of society that has to occur in order for us to save the planet. Part of that transformation will include a lot of these things we're talking about in this, if it can even fucking happen. I'm counting more on the transformation of society than I am in us being able to save the planet from becoming uninhabitable. That's all. And maybe we leave a big rock with a bunch of shit carved in it that says, don't go here or do this if you become a being and get conscious, because we sure fucked up. Anyway, we're going to run a little late. I don't know if I can cover all of this. Maybe I'll play it tomorrow. Canada is set to get weed in 2018, everybody. Just know that, and that's rocking. Whether you like Trudeau or not, I guess he's like all over the marijuana. I don't know. His party will officially announce the plan on April 10th. Celebrated Canada, you're going green in a big way. And I'm not going to run this. I'll run this tomorrow. It's good to run tomorrow. I had a trailer in here for An Inconvenient Truth. Because they're not Inconvenient Truth, the sequel. An Inconvenient sequel, Truth to Power. Al Gore's put together another movie. I think that's cool. We're going to run the trailer tomorrow, but it's Paramount Pictures, and I always have issues with Paramount Pictures on YouTube. So I'm probably going to test it, and then we'll run another time. The reason I said that is because I really, really want to go out with my favorite song ever. All right. I don't see much transformation of nonviolence happening, Paula. Paula? I do. We talk about it every day. I'm transforming away from my violence every day. I try to deal with it, right? And I'm watching the Democratic Party with a whole bunch of young, progressive, and older progressive people showing up that are all about the nonviolence. I'm not seeing a lot of nonviolence on the news, but I see a lot of nonviolence in my town. So I'll just go there. I wear a body condom whenever leaving the house. All right. That was a weird thing to come back to. John, am I streaming the Bernie thing tomorrow? Yes, I'm going to stream the Bernie thing tomorrow. I will be doing that. We will have a good time. All right. Oh, with ICE. No, our federal government is wholly violent. There's nothing kind or gentle or anything like we want it to be with our federal government. It is a horrific entity. A cancerous that needs to be just removed and replaced. Much of it. We're working on that in a non-violent way because I can't weaponize myself against ICE. I'm incapable, honestly. I beat my chest about it a lot. That's part of knowing thyself, which is why we're going to end on my favorite song ever, okay? And my favorite song ever, I realized this today. I'm a musician, and I focus a lot more on music and the quality of music than I do on words, right? But I realized that the reason I love this song the most out of all the songs ever is because it's really not about the music. The music is just kind of a background setting for the words. And the reason I love this song is because of how it was put together and what it means. It's scientists. The words of scientists talking about how we are all connected. And that is so true. And if you really listen to the lyrics, which is why I'm so shocked at why this is my favorite song, it's my favorite song because of the words, not the music. But it's because the words speak volumes about who we are. And if we take the time to know ourselves at the molecular level, and the biological level, and the atomic level, we recognize that we're all connected. And when you realize that we're all connected, it changes your perspective on how we treat everything else. So, see you guys tomorrow. Markus, thank you so much for being here, as always, my friend.
Thank you for watching and thank you for having me.
Absolutely. It's Melody Sheep, everybody. Symphony of Silence. Science. We were all connected. With my hero, Richard Feynman, and other superheroes, Carl Sagan, Neil deGrasse Tyson, and Bill Nye. Here we go.
We're all connected to each other biologically, to the earth chemically, to the rest of the universe atomically.
I think nature's imagination is so much greater than man's. He's never gonna let us relax.
We live in an in-between universe where things change alright, but according to patterns, rules, or as we call them, laws of nature.
I'm this guy standing on a planet. Really, I'm just a speck. Compared with a star, the planet is just another speck. To think about all of this, to think about the vast emptiness of space. There's billions and billions of stars, billions and billions of specks.
The beauty of a living thing is not the atoms that go into it, but the way those atoms are put together. The cosmos is also within us. We're made of star stuff. We are a way for the cosmos to know itself.
Across the sea of space, the stars are others. We've traveled this way before, and there is much to be learned.
We're all connected to each other biologically, to the earth chemically, to the rest of the universe atomically.
I find it elevating and exhilarating to discover that we live in a universe which permits the evolution of molecular machines as intricate and subtle as we.
I know that the molecules in my body are traceable to phenomena in the cosmos. That makes me want to grab people in the street and say, have you heard this?
The beauty of a living thing is not the atoms that go into it, but the way those atoms are put together. The cosmos is also within us. We're made of star stuff. We are a way for the cosmos to know itself.
There's this tremendous massive waves all over in space, which is the light bouncing around the room, going from one thing to the other, and it's all really there, really, really there. But you gotta stop and think about it, about the complexity, and really get the pleasure. It's all really there, really, really there. The inconceivable nature of nature. To think about all of this, to think about the vast emptiness of space. There's billions and billions of stars, billions and billions of specks.
The beauty of a living thing is not the atoms that go into it, but the way those atoms are put together. The cosmos is also within us. We're made of star stuff, and we are a way for the cosmos to know itself.
Across the sea of space, the stars are others. We've traveled this way before, and there is much to be learned.